What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Morrissey, and we're returning to Kill Uncle 1991. Thank you again to Seb, as well as to Luca, who is a bit mischievous. Have you decided whether you'd like to sabotage things or relax? I think she's still undecided on the matter. Nevertheless, the next tune is the very amusingly and cleverly titled The Harsh Truth of the Camera Eye, which not only, I think, speaks to subjective perception versus a more neutral or instrument-based perception, meaning we look in the mirror and, yes, we see the reflection in a literal visual sense, but we also imbue that image with our own understandings, our own psychological supports, and a way of viewing ourselves that is Luca approved. Can you just chill out? She's thinking about it. Whereas a camera, it's just recording what is there, all the imperfections, all the idiosyncrasies, all the insecurities are there to be viewed, and it's not being filtered through your brain, which might explain away, rationalize, or otherwise sugarcoat the image itself. So yes, I feel like the camera, and this could be more literal, the idea that, you see yourself, you look in the mirror, okay, and then you see yourself on camera, which implies that other people are going to see it. Of course, you could take a picture of yourself or a video of yourself just for yourself, but by and large, cameras take pictures and record moving images for others to see, even if it's for a private audience, in some cases for a very public or even international audience. So yeah, it feels like the suggestion here is that the camera doesn't lie or sugarcoat things, whereas your own eye and your brain might lead you to view something more sympathetically or more positively than other people would see with their own eyes and brains. So let's give it a listen and see how close to or far from the actual meaning that is. This is Morrissey. The tune is The Harsh Truth of the Camera Eye, and it's from his 1991 album Kill Uncle.
The strain of smiling, the harsh truth of the camera, telling you all that you never wanted to know, showing you what you didn't want shown. the pictures home and scream. Telling you all that you never wanted to know, showing what you didn't want shown. This photographer, he must have really had it in for you. I would sooner be loved. I would sooner be just blindly loved.
It's a wicked, haunted little tune. Indeed, it almost felt a bit like a dance macabre, like, spirits risen from the dead, a bit haunting, a bit dangerous, but a bit revelrous at the same time. It certainly had this slow, winding rhythm to it. In fact, like, one aspect, I think those keyboard hits, they almost had a slight bit of a reggae feel or rhythm, but the rest of the sonics were very, again, ethereal and a bit like sedated, or again like haunted. There was a bit of a gothic feel that, yeah, it seems like the lyrics, such as I caught them, on some level are speaking to ideas I had in advance. The idea of, someone takes a picture and you think it should look a certain way because you're dealing with your own self-image you have in your head. Even when you look at a physical reflective surface like a mirror, but the camera isn't filtered through those expectations or that self-image. And so the idea that, it's like, oh, this photographer has it in for me, that you must be shooting me from all the wrong angles or in the wrong lighting or unsympathetically, because that can't be what I look like. But there's other things going on here I'm not sure of. It was like, take the pictures home, and there was a suggestion of, being seen, so it's, they're being taken for an audience and perhaps the subject of them. But it sounded like the narrator was talking about someone else having their picture taken. I'm not quite sure of the details, but thematically it feels like it's more or less in the direction I was thinking in advance. The idea of cameras just telling you the cold hard truth, even if that militates against your own perception of what you look like or how good you can look, in the right lighting or with the right sympathetic eyes and so on. So yeah, I feel like there's something to that. But a really interesting song sonically, and I just did a Smiths reaction talking about how that one was more or less in their wheelhouse territory. And as I've gone through the solo Morrissey material, there's been songs where I feel like, oh, this could be a Smiths tune. It's kind of in that like indie rock meets, maybe a bit of like synth pop stylings. And then there's been others where it's like, oh, this actually doesn't sound like a Smiths tune. This one does not. This one feels like it's kind of, far away from what I would consider to be the normal or typical Smiths sonic characters. So yeah, a really interesting one musically. Lyrically, again, I'm sort of trying to catch up, but I think thematically it's sort of what I was considering in advance. I obviously look forward to any insights people may have, but yeah, a really interesting one, and I enjoyed the haunted, again, dance macabre sort of atmosphere of the tune. In any case, let me know what you think. The now tranquil and sleeping Luca and I will see you for the next one. Peace.